All right, guys, I am heated. I am teed off right now. I am not happy in the slightest. That was a disaster. And big picture wise, I'm not really going to trip too much about anything with the Huskies this year because I know what this year is. But we're supposed to show signs of life. This is not just a pure rebuilding year. So I have to evaluate some stuff. And what I can evaluate in this game is coaching, right? Because Jed Fisch is supposed to be the guy. It's not like we're going to get a new head coaching recruit in the offseason or anything like that. Jed Fisch is supposed to be the guy. We can evaluate that. Maybe we can't evaluate anything else, but we can evaluate that. And today, the coaching was terrible. Today, the coaching was a disaster. This team was not properly prepared. This team did not come out the way we needed them to come out. They didn't start the game particularly well. They got very lucky that Wazoo went for it on fourth down and didn't get it. Otherwise, we would have started in a big hole like we try to do pretty much every week. And 140, 150, I lost count, something like that, penalties in a game that you're basically playing at home. I know they're saying, oh, it's a neutral site. That was basically a UW home game. You're like 10 minutes from your stadium. They're like 3 hours. It's a home game. And you commit like 16 penalties. False start, false start, false start, offsides, pass interference, holding on 3rd and 18. You hold on 3rd and 18, and like 3 plays later, they're scoring a touchdown. You jump offsides twice when you're trying to get the ball back to your offense with a few seconds left at the end of the game. You have what was it? Defensive delay of game penalty when you're trying to get the ball back. Zero discipline. Negative football IQ. Negative football IQ here with these Washington Huskies. Somehow, mostly because Wazoo had their own share of stupid things that happened in this game, you have a chance to win it at the end anyway. And the coaching staff that has already failed to prepare the team decides to run speed option with Will Rogers with the game on the line. That's what you call timeout for? Because that's the thing. We called a timeout and came up with speed option to the short side of the field with Will Rogers, not Devin Williams. Devin Williams, okay. If Devin Williams was out there, fine. I'll live with the results a little bit better there. But you've got Will Rogers out there. You just called timeout. You've got all the time in the world to discuss this play call, and you come up with speed option. That's unbelievable to me. I was in shock that that's the play call. Like, that is a play call you come up with when you have zero faith in your quarterback or your running back. That is a play call that you come up with when your quarterback is just completely unable to throw a decent ball and your running back just dances in the backfield all day and you're like, okay, I got to do something kind of exotic here. I could not believe it, man. I could not believe that happened. Brennan Carroll, get out of here. I know I said I was going to be patient this year, but that's the best you can do with a timeout with the game on the line. I don't ever need to see you on the sideline for the Huskies again. Get out. Brennan Carroll, go join your dad in the booth with the Seahawks every Sunday. And be like your dad and don't do anything that has anything to do with my team. So, Michael Hyde, thank you for the super chat, by the way. I'm mad at Jed Fisch. I want to be clear. I'm not calling for his job yet. But today was a disaster. This team looked incredibly undisciplined. We gave up a touchdown on a QB power run on 3rd and 20. 3rd and 20. They run QB power, basically a give up play. They're just trying to set up the field goal, and he's in the end zone. That's not something that serious teams do. Mater. I can't remember how to pronounce the quarterback's name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. The Wazoo quarterback. So, I don't know. I mean, there was some stuff out there that I thought was good, right? I thought the secondary played fairly well overall. Nixon had a beautiful interception. We almost had another interception on like a Malcolm Butler slant pass. Could have used that one back, maybe. Maybe we win this game if he actually secures that interception like he should have. But I thought the secondary played pretty well. Tackling was okay. Pressure was inconsistent, and it definitely hurt us that we couldn't get pressure on some of those plays where Mateer just had all day in the pocket. But even with all that stuff I can criticize, like some of the early play calling, that lifeless, toothless 3-and-out to start the game after getting the big 4th down stop, where it just looks like you're coming out of the locker room having chugged a bunch of NyQuil. Even with all that, you get down to the 2-yard line, 4th and goal, and speed option with Will Rogers is your best play call. Like, some people in the chat were saying give it to Coleman on a normal running play, which I personally wouldn't have done, but it would have been way better than what you did. Unbelievable, man. So yeah, I'm bummed out. It's obviously a rivalry game, and I understand that the rivalry this year doesn't mean as much as it usually does. Neither team is predicted to do all that much this year. I know that the Cougars didn't spoil our national title hopes, right? We don't have national title hopes. This is 2024. This team is nowhere near good enough to have those aspirations, but you could have gone out and won a game today, and you didn't do it because of an agonizing lack of discipline. Brainless football, man. Absolutely brainless. And that's disappointing because, yeah, a lot of these players, they don't matter that much. A lot of these players are not that good. The ones that are good are mostly not going to be here next year. This is a rebuilding year. But Jed Fisch, Brennan Carroll, Belichick, those are the guys who are supposed to be part of the next great Huskies team. They failed today, big time. They failed today in a big way. They made big, big mistakes. And you see what happens, right? It's a lot of unforced errors. Like Wazoo, they put stress on your defense with their creative play calling, some of the stuff they do at the line of scrimmage. I get that. You know, I can live with that. I can take some of that. But to jump offsides twice at the end of the game, to have a defensive delay a game, the Cougars have nothing to do with that. That's just you being stupid. All right. I don't know what else to say. I don't know where else to take this. That was really bad. That was disgusting. Got killed so many different ways. Our own stupidity, man. Our own stupidity. I'm all over the place in this video. I'm gonna be real here because I just can't believe the team was that sloppy. So there it is, 24-19 Cougars. I'm going to go and get out of here. The game flow was weird, by the way. Watching that game was kind of annoying in that first half because they kept going back and forth. They kept going to commercial. We had injuries. We had random timeouts. There felt like there was no good cadence to the game. But, yeah, it's disappointing for sure. It's disappointing. At this point, with what I saw today, it's hard to imagine this team making a bowl game, honestly. I think this is a game you needed to win to make the bowl game because I don't think this team is going to be able to stop the run against Michigan. I still don't think we have a chance against a team like Penn State. So you needed to take care of business in a game like this, and you're at the 2-yard line, chance to go win the game, and you're messing around with a speed option. It's gross. It's gross. I don't want to see it. I didn't want to see it. So shout out to Washington State, by the way. They are 3-0 now. They should be a pretty decent team this year. I mean, at this point, if you had to pick one team to make a bowl game and have a winning season, it'd probably be them. I know that quarterback they got, the Mateer, he's got trouble. He's not a very good thrower, it seems like, but he's a playmaker. He's fun. Yeah, I'm going to go and get out of here. I got other stuff to do tonight. See you guys. Bow down to Washington. It sucks, but life goes on. I wasn't expecting a ton this year, but for the coaching staff to be that incompetent, it makes you worried a little bit. It makes you worried a little bit. Because, quite frankly, those are the guys we're counting on going forward. All right.